All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're piecing together a massive story that's unfolding in the world of AI. It's all connected. A brand new, game-changing AI model, a revolution in the hardware that actually powers it, and what all of this means for the future of, well, your job. And we've got to start with this quote from Elon Musk because it really sets the stage for everything we're about to talk about. A future where work is optional. Is that a utopian dream, or is that something else? To even get our heads around how we could get there, we need to look at the technology that's making this a very real possibility. And that's where our story really kicks off. We're in the middle of an AI model war. And just this week, a brand new contender just stormed the battlefield. And honestly, it's changing all the rules. Okay, so here it is, DeepSeek V4. It's a massive new model that just dropped, but the thing you really need to know is that it's completely open source. That means it's not locked away in some corporate vault in Silicon Valley. Nope. It's out there for anyone and everyone to use and build on. But how good is it really? Well, let's put it head-to-head with one of the current heavyweights, Claude Opus. Check this out. When it comes to a really tough coding test, their performance is pretty much a statistical tie, a dead heat. But then you look at the price. Yeah, you're not seeing things. It delivers that top-tier, frontier-level performance for a seventh of the cost. For developers, for businesses, this is an absolute earthquake. It just completely blows up all the old assumptions about how much it costs to build things with AI. But believe it or not, the price isn't even the biggest story here. This whole thing points to something much, much bigger on the world stage, a concept called sovereign parity. So what on earth is that? Well, think of it like this. It's the moment a country can run a world-class AI using a technology stack that is 100% its own. No outside help needed. And this is how all the pieces have now clicked into place for China. You've got the model, that's DeepSeek. You've got the domestic hardware to run it on, Huawei's chips. And you have the homegrown software to tie it all together. This, right here, is what achieving sovereign parity looks like in the real world. So you can have the best AI code in the world, but it's totally useless without some serious, heavy-duty hardware to run it on. And that requires a mind-boggling amount of investment. Which brings us to the next chapter here, the war for the AI machines themselves. And who's making the biggest splash on that front? You guessed it, Elon Musk. He just confirmed that all his companies are going all in on Intel's next-generation chips to power this gigantic new facility in Texas, something they're calling the Terafab. This is a huge move, basically a play to build America's own sovereign compute power. And Wall Street, they went absolutely bananas. Intel's stock surged over 23% in a single day. It was this massive vote of confidence, basically saying, yep, Intel is back in the chip-making game. But here's the wild part. On the very same day, the undisputed king of AI hardware, NVIDIA, did something no company has ever done before. It became the first company to be valued at over $5 trillion. The message is crystal clear. The hunger for AI chips is so insane that a rising tide is lifting all boats. So why is Musk betting the farm on these new Intel chips? Well, it boils down to this. They're way faster, you can cram a lot more power into the same tiny space, and they use a whole lot less electricity. That's pretty much the holy trinity you need if you're going to build something called a terafab. Okay, so we've got these incredible new AI models and these unbelievably powerful machines. Sounds amazing, right? But there's a flip side. All this progress comes at a price, and it's a price that, more and more, is being paid by actual people with actual jobs. Let's just start with this number. $25 billion. That's what Tesla alone is planning to spend this year on AI and robotics. You know, the very machines that are designed to automate human labor. Okay, so keep that $25 billion investment in your head. Now look at this number, 96,000. That's how many tech workers have been laid off so far this year alone. You see the pattern, right? As the investment in automation skyrockets, so does the displacement of human workers. And this leads us directly into the most controversial part of our story today, because the very same people who are driving all of this disruption, well, they're now proposing a pretty radical solution for the society it's creating. And that solution, brought up again by Elon Musk just this week, is what he calls universal high income. And notice that word, high. He's arguing that the best way, maybe the only way, to handle mass unemployment from AI is for the government to simply send everybody checks. So it's really important to get the distinction he's making. We've all heard of universal basic income, or UBI. That's often seen as just a safety net, right? Just enough to survive. But UHI, universal high income, that's a different beast entirely. His vision is that the AI and robots will create such an incredible surplus of wealth that they can fund a genuinely high standard of living for everyone, not just surviving, but thriving. Okay, we have covered a lot of ground. We've hit the models, the machines, and the societal fallout. So now let's tie it all together and look at what some people are starting to call the new power loop. When you just lay it all out, step by step, this fascinating cycle emerges. So step 1, you build the super intelligent AI. Step 2, you deploy that AI and robots that automate labor. Step 3, naturally, human jobs get displaced. Step 4, you propose a government stipend to support all the people who are displaced. And then step 5, you own the fundamental infrastructure, the AI, the robots, the terafab, that's generating all the wealth in this new economy. It's a complete, self-contained, closed loop. And that's where we land. Look, this isn't some fringe sci-fi idea anymore. This is a policy proposal landing at the exact same moment that its predictions are showing up in layoff notices. So as we wrap this up, the key question isn't really whether this vision of the future is right or wrong. The real question is, with the pace of change we're seeing, does anyone else have a better answer?